Welcome back, everyone, to another Balatro high score attempt gameplay. Before we jump into it, last video, we got E to the 52. So, spoilers, if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch it. It was my best score ever. For me, being a new player and not having everything unlocked yet even, I think E to the 52 is okay. There's definitely things I can improve. But because of that, I think I'm going to try the Ghost deck, which is another really good deck to get high score attempts on. No promises that this is going to be as good as my Plasma deck, because I've played that the most, but I do have the highest stake version of this deck unlocked. We're still going to be playing on white stake so we can get the best possible chance at a really high score. But I just think it would be fun to try out the Ghost deck, so it hopefully changes my strategy a little bit. It definitely does in the early rounds, right? Because we need to look for higher straights or a higher flush in order to beat this score of 300, right? No longer are we going to get 1,200 points or chips just for any random flush. So, this one is actually pretty good. 2 malt player for any 2 pair we play, so we could start off with that. The runner is also good with straights, which I'm not sure what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and open up the pack and see. We also have a hex, which adds polychrome to a random joker and destroys all other jokers. I'm not too sure if the juggler is going to be what we want or 8-ball, so I'm probably going to skip them, and we're going to put polychrome on these pair of trousers, and it looks like we're going to go for some 2 pair hands for now. So we already got our queens. We can go ahead and try and get another king or an ace, and we even got another pair if we need it. We probably will still, because like I said, it is a little bit harder to get higher chip values at the start in the Ghost deck. So let's go ahead. We already played I believe queens, right? So let's and aces, so let's go ahead and discard all of these, and we got the king. We actually got a full house, which is still going to count for our trousers, right? So full house, 2 pairs are going to be what we're going to be playing, but it is going to upgrade the trousers just because 2 pairs are in there. So we already have 4 flat malt, and then it is also multiplying it. So onk off the start is kind of crazy. Create a copy of the random joker and destroy all other jokers. We might as well do it right here, and we'll play 2 copies of spare trousers for right now. -1 hand size might be a little tricky for 2 pair. We're just going to have to dig a little bit more for it. We got our 10s. Let's go ahead and try and get a king or an ace. It's realistically what we want, just so we make it through. We got 7s instead. One thing to note while we're doing this is to always play a 5th card, especially if you only have a limited amount of hand sizes. We're not going to be using the 3, right? So we're going to pretty much be discarding it by playing that hand if it didn't win us that round. Before we play this hand, I just want to say thank you for everyone who has been watching the videos. Obviously, this is quite a new channel, and I appreciate everyone jumping in and watching the videos and leaving comments. I appreciate all the feedback. If you are not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. It will help me out, and I will be persuaded to continue to go on this journey and upload as much Balatro content as I possibly can for you. Got very lucky there getting 2 Uranuses. We're getting +6/+6 multiplied by 1.5 and 1.5 every single time, so we're doing good. What I should look for next is a money engine. Okay, we have a 2 pair. We actually have multiple 2 pairs here, and I will gonna play this 3 again because we're probably not going to play it, but we're ahead of the game right now. One of the other things about Ghost deck versus Plasma is the blinds go up significantly less at the start. Now, I do have a decision to make here. I could guarantee myself 4 gold at the end of every round, or open up this spectral pack. I'm going to take the money right now and continue on because I think it's going to be easy enough to get our pairs. and eventually we're going to try maybe and do kings and queens, or we're going to do a double pair deck. It just kind of seems like that's what we're going for. So I'm going to delete all the small stuff, find our 2 pair, and delete it. Again, we don't have to worry about score right now, where we are scaling quite a bit because this is adding 2 malt every single time, and we're getting a little bit of money. Strength could be good for our pairs, because we can strength things into higher cards, so jacks into queens and stuff like that. But right now we are getting insanely lucky with getting our Uranuses, so we are really building up this 2 pair deck. We have 3 5s, so honestly I'm just going to delete everything else and see what we can come up with. I'm still going to delete this kind of stuff. I don't know what this card is, so we'll go ahead and try and get another king or queen, and we got it. We'll play, see, the 2 pair is already much better than the full house, so we'll do something like this, and we'll be totally fine. 7,000. So that is the 3rd ante done, and you can see it's really not a big deal for me right now. Let's see if we can get another Uranus. So we don't. I guess we'll do just a single pair right now. Cool thing about these is they're still going to work if I don't play a 2 pair, but they're not going to get upgraded, right? So base chips and malt are halved. It should be okay. We just drew into a full house. It's not something I actually want to play right now, so again we'll just do our 2 pair, discard that 3, and yeah, we are at 9,000, so we're already cleared for the boss even if that malt is halved. 9,000, if you divide it by 2, we're at around the $4,000 mark. So I'm going to continue just playing on and try and stack some money here, looking for our pairs. So we got our 7, so we'll leave in the 10 and the 9, or the ace and the 10, just because they're higher cards. We'll go ahead and see. So again, 9,000, not too worried about it at all. We're continuously upgrading this. Trading card is very good to thin out our deck, so I will buy it. It's also good for some money. Gonna open up a pack and see if we can convert some cards. Glass, sun, hearts. I mean, I might as well throw these. Let's make 3 hearts out of our 8s. We could do like a flush house in the future, which would be good for our 2 pair build here. We'll take our Uranus, and we'll take an Earth. That's actually the best possible outcome for us. I don't need playing cards in the shop, so we'll go ahead and skip that. Again, base chips are halved, so we're going to discard a 2. It is going to make it a little bit harder to get our pairs, but as you can see, I haven't really been missing yet, so we'll go ahead and play that. It should be okay, even though our malt is halved. We are, like I said, we are growing with these double pair of trousers right now. We're going to buy the blank voucher for sure. We're going to need some more space in the future. Purple seal is always good for some extra tarot cards, so we'll grab that. Hermit's an amazing pickup. Probably throw the purple seal on a 4 because it's going to be most likely discarded in the future. Pick up that Hermit. So we are at the point where we can spend a little bit of money, so we will roll a little bit and see what we can get. We don't really need to add malt right now. We've played 8 2 pairs, so that's only 8 malt if you think about it, so we'll skip it. I should be totally fine to beat this boss blind as well, because I will be scaling, right? Here is our 2 pair. We're going to go ahead and play it. I could start discarding now and looking for that tarot card, so that is something that I have to think about. But it is definitely a different way of thinking. Ectoplasm. We are going to buy it and think about it right now. We definitely need more hand size. I actually think there was a juggler in there, which is interesting. One of the problems with ectoplasm, it means one of these is going to turn negative by this. And I'm not too sure if I really want these to carry on for the rest of my run. Go ahead and make these jacks some bonus cards. Can't hurt. 1 extra discard. Okay, so that's not the juggler. It was the drunkard. I think we're going to be okay with it. I mean, I would love to have it. It's going to hit one of these 2 cards. I don't really want it to hit the golden joker. If I'm going to sell it, that means it has to hit the trading card because these have polychrome. We'll go ahead and buy the Junkard for now. We don't need, well, we could use 2 enhanced aces, why not? Card below our deck, no. Seltzer is cool. Okay, to-do list is good for money as well. It happens to be on 2 pair right now. The problem is if it's not on 2 pair, I'm not really interested in it, so I will skip it, and we're gonna be fine for now. So we're gonna get rid of this 2, and go ahead and discard this as well. Make this a tower, and this seems like a great spot just to Grim. Okay, we'll take those 2 aces. And now we can play our pair, right? And we can even throw this stone card on it now because it's not going to affect things for us. So we're at 22,000 per hand. Playing 2 pair, we're getting 22 malt per spare trousers. It's not too bad. 10 malt for 2 pair doesn't really do much for us, so we'll skip it. The Fool gives us another tower. Might as well use the Emperor. Not really interested in these. I mean, we'll keep the steel card, but we're not going to make things diamonds at this point, so we'll skip it. Hiker is interesting, but it's not going to get us to where we need to go in the future. Go ahead and get a random Joker. Okay, Hanging Chat is good enough for now. It's not really going to fit our build, but it is what it is. We'll go ahead and get rid of a 6. And then we're going to go ahead and get rid of 1 Jack. Because we're going to be keeping these 2 for our pairs, and would you look at that, we got our pairs no problem. Now one thing you'll have to notice, we'll go ahead and make this one a steal, is we do have to play 5 cards, so even though this card's not going to be played, it will count. And we crushed that blind with no problem. 37,000. Again, with the ghost deck, it is a little bit of a slower increase. We'll take another discard for sure. It's a little bit of a slower increase just because the blinds don't go up as fast, and it is a little bit harder to scale. We only have 2 6s, so I'm not interested in the 6th sense. Open up the Buffoon pack. We do have a free open slot. Let's go ahead and take the egg because it might give us some value in the future. Continue leveling up our 2 pair, and we'll move on to the next round. So 22,000 club cards are debuffed. Not really a concern for me at this point, which is nice. Go ahead and get rid of another 6, and then probably everything else here. We have the majority aces in our deck, right? Full deck, 6, and then 4 of all of the high cards, and we're slowly getting rid of the bottom stuff. So that's realistically what we're going to continue to discard. Now we do have 5 discards, which is awesome. Basically with the Hanging Chat, I'm also going to put anything with bonus at the front so it triggers the most times. And we are easily clearing these levels right now. Not too worried. We are going to have to figure out something soon, but we'll just continue to play and see what goes on. Probably just going to tower a card. Again, we're just going to kind of build a bunch of higher cards just because they give us the most chip value, and we'll work something out in the future. Golden Joker and Swashbuckler, I'm not terribly interested in. These trousers are better than both of those, right? So we're not going to worry about it. Again, we'll get rid of the lowest card. We have a pair of 5s and a pair of 9s. Go ahead and see if that actually gets us to the finish line. I'm not even sure if it does, but it might. Once we get something that gives us a little bit more malt, we'll move these trousers to the other side, but we can leave them here for now. Not a problem. 80 chips if we contain a 2 pair. Again, that's not going to get us to where we need to go in the future. So Cryptid is cool. Go ahead and make some more kings because we've already made a few aces. So if we look at our full deck now, 6 aces, 6 kings. So loading up those for the 2 pairs. Aces will probably go in the future just because they don't have a ton of things that synergize with it. Familiar is good. Destroy 1 card and add 3 random face cards. So we are working towards getting some more face cards in our deck, so that helps. Discard that. I mean, we do have our 2 pair, so I'm not going to mess around with this familiar right now. Don't really want to get rid of any of these 3. So we totally should be fine here, right? We're not playing any clubs. We have our 2 pair, and we got our points. So we are getting close on our round score, right? To not one-shotting the boss. So we do have to think about that. In our blinds right now, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. So we do have to be careful here. We can go ahead and see if we can level up our 2 pair a little bit more. That will help a tiny bit. We probably do need some more flat malts to get multiplied by these. But we will see. Egg values at 11. It's very good for temperance. Probably just buy the voucher for right now. Reroll 1 time. Juggler's better for hand size. I would rather use that instead of the discard because we already have 4, which is totally fine. Getting our hand size back is very, very nice. So let's go ahead and get rid of, we'll get rid of the 8. We had a lot of 2 pairs there, and we'll go ahead and play our 2 pair, and we'll move on to the next round. So far we've had 0 trouble finding our 2 pairs at all. That's pretty good. Our money situation isn't amazing. Could do another ectoplasm. Problem is it does limit our hand size down to 6, which I'm not terribly thrilled about. I'm not too sure if we need it right now. We have 3 cards, 2 cards for sure that aren't going to be staying with us. So I don't think we need ectoplasm at this point. This is probably good enough. Yeah. To do that, and we can tower this too, essentially getting rid of it, and it actually works while playing our 2 pair. So 30,000. We could skip it and get a base edition Joker for free, and it becomes negative. Not too sure that we need to do that. Typically skipping is pretty bad, so we'll go ahead and play this. Reminder to play the jack up front. Can even throw in the stone card for some extra chips, right? So yeah, this is going to do just fine. With those bonus chips, we did get 61,000, so we aren't worrying about it too much. Magician is interesting. It's lucky cards though. Don't think we're moving in the lucky card direction right now. We'll take the Hermit for more money almost all of the time, unless we're really, really worried about something. So temperance value is now $36 because our egg is 17, which is amazing. Hand size, I wish that one was always around and didn't leave us because it would be amazing. Drunkard came up again, not really interested. We'll move on here. Diamond cards are debuffed. We do have a lot of Diamond Kings, but it is what it is. Luckily none of them came up. Let's go ahead and there are 2 9s. I mean, we don't need it, so let's go ahead and discard the 9. Go ahead and hang both of these. We'll discard 2 stones. We'll go ahead and play something like this. Even though that one's debuffed, it's probably okay. We're not going to win in one shot here, I don't think. It's going to be pretty close. Yeah, 4,000 off. That's totally fine. We still have 2 discards, so we'll go ahead and get rid of these for sure. Something like that. We still have a bit of aces. We got the jacks and the 10s, right? So we'll just go ahead and do that. Make sure we're putting the bonus one first. These are getting us 38 flat malt and then multiplying them, which is pretty good. Always take a hermit. Extra consumable slot is always nice too. Go ahead and fire that off. Still trying to fix our deck a little bit. Malt cards could be nice. We could throw them on the 10s. They'll help us out a tiny bit, a fractional amount. Uranus and Full House I see again. Uranus is still quite a bit better. 200 chips versus our Full House is only at 90. We really haven't played it that much. We were kind of going for hearts, but not really. We're probably just going to leave those be for now. We'll definitely take another Uranus. Only, yeah, I mean, this is good, decent sense of money, but I've only done 3 types of planets, so we're not going to do it. Hanging Chat is definitely the one to go. We can beat these blinds pretty easily still. Reminder, we do have 4 hands. We are thinning our deck slowly but surely. Let's go ahead and get rid of something like this. Yeah, odds are we are going to rip something decent. We'll play our mult cards first. They'll help with the Hanging Chat a little bit. And yeah, we're going to beat it. So 68,000 per is still pretty good. Now, this run isn't going to take us into oblivion right now, but it is very, very easily won the way we're doing. It's a $42 temperance. This egg is carrying me right now for money, which is awesome. I wish it just back-to-back temperances would have been awesome. Planet cards are bonus. Honestly, I didn't mind the bonus cards. They did help us out quite a bit. Totem is probably something we would go for in the long run. If we continued to fix our deck into like all kings and queens or something like that. Just because we have this crazy 2-pair system going on. So I do like it. It's just not something we can really afford right now. Square Joker would have been good way early when we're doing 2-pair. But we can't do that right now. Burnt Joker's interesting, but I don't think it really fits. It's going to be a little bit hard to play. Paradolia is okay. This would work if we grabbed like a Sock and Buskin in the future. We would love to make it like negative, but if we grab Sock and Buskin, then all of our face cards would re-trigger. But we're pretty much working towards that anyways, it all being face cards. There's a $42 temperance. That's amazing. Judgment I don't have room for. We're just going to move on to the next. Not exactly sure what the end game is for this right now. 3 10s. We don't need 3 of them. We get rid of 1 stone. Go ahead and get rid of this. Okay, 10s and 7s will work with a stone card. We'll make sure we put this one up front. Sometimes putting the stone card up front is best because it gets you a lot of chips. But as you can see, I'm still behind on mult. So that is the current theme, is I am behind on mult and I need to figure that out. Another copy of Uranus is definitely going to work for us. Go ahead and do that again. There was a full house there, but honestly I just haven't been playing that. Okay, Deja Vu, welcome to the party. You will definitely be played. Smiley face is good, but not for what we're going for right now. Not interested in almost any of these. Our money situation's okay. Cards are drawn face down after the hands are played. I don't mind. We aren't really going to be playing more than 1 hand. So go ahead and put it on this red king, right? Because it's bonus. It's one of our better kings. Hearts are, let's see. They're pretty even with our full deck. We just don't have a bunch of kings, but I don't mind placing it there. Let's go ahead and get rid of the stuff that we don't need. A wild card. I mean, I go ahead and throw it on this king, but it doesn't really much matter. So let's go ahead and do something like this, right? So now this is going to trigger. Should get us a bunch of points. We should one-shot this boss because of all the chips we have, and we do. But again, we're pretty much carried by chips right now and not malt, and that's something we have to think about. Rerolls are cheap as hell now. That is pretty good. Uranus is coming in the shop. That's perfect. See if we can get another one. Our luck. Like, I don't think we have a telescope. We don't have a telescope, so I don't know how we've been getting so lucky. I don't need a standard pack right now. Stencil Joker is fun. Joker Stencil, obviously, no room for it. So let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Don't get anything. Egg value's at 29. That's just, that's fun to see. We do have like 3 open Joker slots, right? Like we have room to grow this thing. So we'll go ahead and see what we do. 3 of a kind isn't really something that we're playing for. Maybe like a duo would be better for us. That's not going to help us. Let's go ahead and stop wasting our money. This is anti-8, and I don't think we're going to have a problem with it at all, which is nice. We don't have any 2 pairs yet, so we're just going to discard this. Still don't have anything, which is not amazing. Still don't have anything, which is not amazing. Okay. Of course, that comes up right at the end. We're going to play Jack, Jack, King, King with another thing on there. Yeah, we definitely one-shot here, but it is getting a little bit closer to the score, 100,000. So we might even one-shot the boss. Each trouser's at 46 each, and then you got to think that it multiplies it. Mail-in rebate's great for money. I just don't think we're at that point anymore. Aha, so we have found direction. We have a legendary Joker option here. I'm going to sell the Hanging Chat and see what we get. Tribule. All right, another trib. Played kings and queens each give ×2 malt. So good thing I have been beefing up my kings and queens a little bit, and we have been thinning out the deck. That is I mean, we just have to play for something like that. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go ahead and see if we can find anything else. Like, the only thing we could replace a juggler. We would be looking for like troubadour. There's a death, which is perfect for getting rid of a queen into a king. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Go ahead and make this stone Joker a king. And then I guess realistically now we're looking for like full houses with queens, right? That's typically what we're trying to do now. Or, I mean, a 5 of a kind. That's pretty insane. Let's go ahead and just axe these. I mean, I guess we just move on from the trousers. So what we can do now is, I mean, it doesn't matter. We don't have any flat malt anywhere. But we'll just stop with the adding malt onto it and start working on our end game. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're at 570,000. So Tribule is obviously very good. I got very lucky that we got him again. Photograph is cool. Not going to take him this run. I take photograph way more often than I would like to admit. Go ahead and level up to 5 of a kind. I mean, it's definitely worth it. Hangman is perfect. We'll still do the full house, because if we can do like full houses of kings and queens, that would be amazing. Go ahead and just buy all of this. We do have to worry about money, so let's go ahead and stop spending. What are we getting rid of? The ace. Fine, that's totally okay. We can also get rid of this king. So with the hangman, you actually do get rid of the boss blind. So if you didn't know that, you do. Let's go ahead and play this and see what it does. It's probably not going to win us. Oh, it is. Okay, we are going to win there even without the hanging chat. So we have won the game pretty easily. Keep in mind, this is ghost deck. I think plasma is like 300,000 for the anti-8, or maybe 200,000. I'm not totally sure. But let's go ahead and get another discard. That can never hurt. Honestly, there's no reason not to, unless you don't have a lot of money. Look at how pretty that ice cream looks. Unfortunately, it's consumable, and it's not going to stay. Also, we have a nice, lovely red card here. So that's not going to help us. We'll go ahead and buy this tower, and the hangman, and the priestess. Might as well. It's all cheap. 110,000. The serpent is not a real boss. I've said that before. Interesting. I mean, there's really not much we need to discard here. Get rid of the aces. They're not going to help us in the future. Go ahead and get rid of this 7. And we just do have a 4 of a kind here, right? So let's go ahead and discard the jacks. We would like to look for like strengths to get those jacks into queens. Sell you. Can use you. Tower the 3. And discard some more. Get what we get. I mean, we'll just play the 5 of a kind. It's 100% going to win here. So $516,000. Just looking for like a sock and buskin to re-trigger something. Would be amazing. And look for a lot more in the future. We've thinned out our deck to 32, all thanks to trading card. It's majority aces and kings and queens and jacks. So please remind me to look for strengths in the shop. We can buy a fool. I can't spend too much money. An Ankh is cool, but we're not destroying all of our jokers again. So let's go ahead and move on. We can get rid of this 4. Go Go ahead and delete everything that isn't a king and queen. I do not want to see you right now. I mean, you can stay. So let's go ahead and see what we get. A magician. I mean, you might as well use the magician, right? Full house. Sure. Leveled it up quite a bit, so it is still getting us a decent amount of malt. That is our highest score off of that, so that's pretty good. Do still need to figure out something about our money. I'm not really able to get enough things accomplished with our money. Hermit's always a good free $20, but I love strengthening these two jacks when I have the chance. I could have gotten $40 because I had the Fool, but never punished because I got a Hermit here, and I'm going to use it here, and then I'm going to use it here. So I guess it all worked out in a way. So I would love to take a Death. I would love to take a Temperance. I would love to take a whole bunch of things. A Wheel of Fortune. No. One more roll. Okay, we'll move on to the next. The Serpent. We're not worried about the Serpent. Okay, goodbye 8. Goodbye Stone card. Goodbye Stone card. Goodbye 7. Goodbye 4. So that is the power of the Serpent. It is not a real boss. It just is what it is. So Triboulet is going to carry us through this one here. And the Trousers help us out quite a bit now. The antes are going to go up quite fast here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I mean, we need to be scoring in the millions soon. And that does worry me a tiny bit because we haven't scored in the millions yet. So we need things to start kicking off. We need a re-trigger effect. That is quite literally what we need. What is this giving me? The Wheel of Fortune. So we will get rid of you. So we need a re-trigger effect. So we are really looking for a Sock and Buskin or something else that re-triggers my hand. Yes, we'll take a free $20, of course. Sure. Strength is good for jacks. Don't need that right now. Immolate. Not a ton in our hand that we want to get rid of yet, right? Trading card's going to be interesting in the future. I'm going to have to make sure that I don't get rid of things or I just remove it. But it is what it is. Full deck. Spades is winning. So we could transition things into spades. Why not? You know? I don't really need to strengthen this stuff. We'll get rid of the 5. Go ahead and get rid of all of this. We're looking for jacks, right? Okay, diamonds we're not doing. Go ahead and get rid of this. So didn't get any jacks. Full house is better. Not too sure if we win or lose on this. No, we don't. So we're getting pretty scary here. 2 jacks. Move those up into queens. Right? 5 of a kind. We definitely just need like a re-trigger effect, right? I mean, that was 2 million. I don't even know how that was possible. We must have got lucky with a mult hit on that. Flush house. We'll buy it. I don't know if we even really used flush house, but we'll definitely try it out. Full house seems like we're playing it a little bit more often. Doesn't look like we're really using the 2 pair anymore, even though full house does work. These will eventually get replaced if this run lasts the test of time. 39 flat malt doesn't impress me right now. We are looking for some better jokers. Hanging Chad is good. It's probably better than the egg now, so we'll sell the egg. Buy our Hanging Chad again. It's just going to help us. Oh, of course, I got punished for selling the egg instantly. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next. Just those extra triggers are really going to help us, right? So let's go ahead and get rid of these. Go ahead and buy that. Sell our diamonds. Get rid of our ace. Go ahead and do a full house, right? Put the queen up first, this one, because we want to re-trigger it as many times as possible. Yeah, so that hanging chat alone added about 2 million to our score. It just gives us 2 re-triggers on that front card, which is really, really what we needed. Troubadour. Okay, that is also a really good card. It's pretty much an endgame card instead of the juggler. Then we don't care about the hand size. We have enough already. Now we're looking for a sock or something else to get us some re-triggers. Let's go ahead and move on. Lose $1 per card played. Not worried about it at all. Let's get rid of this ace. Our deck is very limited, right? We have 1-8, 1-10. The rest are kings and queens, okay? And a few jacks, right? If we look at our full deck, no jacks. So things are getting a little bit crazy. We don't even need to think about this one. Go ahead and play another full house, right? Again, we're going to put on the lucky card up first. Have a chance at getting that extra malt or that money. Also, we have a few steel cards. Not typically what we need, but they do help a little bit in this situation. Trading card might have to go soon because we are thinning out our deck at an alarming rate. This could be good. Enhanced face cards are fine. Temperance is still $30, mainly because our trib sells for 10, right? So we have Troubadour and Triboulet. That's interesting to know. Steel. We only got 2 steel cards, so that's not a good enough joker for us. Deja Vu. Amazing. Haven't seen that Red Seal King that many times. I would also love a like a DNA or something to get that we can copy cards. That would be awesome. Go ahead and put this Deja Vu on this queen, and let's risk it. You know what? I deserve that, but it's totally fine. What a joke, you know? What an absolute joke that is, and what ended up happening. Oh, baby. Okay, full house. Let's go ahead and do this. We're going to get an extra re-trigger because of that Deja Vu, which is nice. That will also help with our point scoring. And as you can see, we do need some help with our point scoring. It is getting a little bit worrisome. The blinds are going up really, really fast, so it actually hurts quite a bit that we lost that red seal. And you know what? I don't know if the run is going to survive a ton longer. How many points do we need? We can probably get through. I'm pretty confident we can get through. None of these really help me. A sock and buskin would do wonders. Photograph would be good for now, just to get us over that hump. Something, please. One more roll. Okay, I'm gonna have to hope that we can get through this. I do believe that we can. Let's get rid of you. Something like that. Have the steel card in hand, right? Am I playing this right? Yeah, it doesn't matter where things are. Okay, only 3 million for that hand, which is a little more scary than I wanted it to be. I think we just get past if we do the math on that kind of thing. Go ahead and get rid of these. Those aren't helping me at all. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Another steel card is worth it. Go ahead and put it on you. So let's go ahead and do something like this, and we'll try and get that lucky re-trigger, right? Go ahead and do that. 2 steel cards here, so it should help a little bit. Okay, we got it done. Confident if we have those steel in our hands, we will also be able to do the next one pretty easily. Might be a mistake doing this. Oh, I don't like any of these cards. Give me something lucky. No. These are just fillers. Let's get rid of the stone, I guess. Reroll. We don't even have enough for all of those hands, so it doesn't matter. Hack is awesome, but isn't re-triggering the cards that we want it to. Kind of gotten unlucky with the Joker pulling here. We had a cool start. I mean, the doubled spare trousers is a funny enough video idea, but Yeah, it's not looking amazing here. So we're going to be careful with this trading card. I don't think we need to play it. We have both steel in hand. So we're going to do this. Go ahead and do that. We did lose one of the steel cards, which sucks. It sucks a lot. Yeah, that is not good. Okay, 5 of a kind is what we're gonna do here. We lost both our steel cards. I think that probably made us lose, right? Oh, wow. Okay, hold the phone here. Discard. Ah, that didn't help. 4 of a kind versus that. Gonna get our re-trigger off. I don't think it's enough. I think this might be the last run. Made it to ante 11. Again, we're trying a new deck, Ghost deck. It is fun. I do like the spectral cards. Gives you, I mean, ability to have more jokers. I just don't think we didn't pull the right things. I definitely needed more re-triggers, and I just didn't get them, right? So it does kind of suck, and we fall a little bit short. So 7 million is our high score today. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Thank you for all of the support on the channel. It really does make me feel good about making these videos. I love reading the comments and replying to them all as well. So I appreciate you all being here. If you are not subscribed and you've made it to the end of the video, go ahead and comment "I made it" in the comment section down below so that I know you watched all of the video. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe. 95% of you watching aren't subscribed. It would really mean the world to me. Okay? Have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.